Chapter 1. Soundscape, heavy doors clanging shut, the echoing of footsteps on concrete floors. As the heavy doors close behind him, Carlos feels an overwhelming wave of uncertainty wash over him. The stark reality of his new surroundings, the dimly lit corridor, the distant clanging of metal, intensifies his sense of isolation. In his first diary entry, he writes about the choices that led him here, tracing back to moments of desperation, anger, and poor judgment. "I never imagined I would end up in a place like this," he reflects, his words heavy with regret. Yet beneath the weight of his past, a flicker of hope ignites. Maybe this is the start of something different. A chance to break free from my old self. Amidst the fear that grips him, he contemplates the possibility of redemption, setting the stage for a transformative journey behind these bars, where echoes of the past could pave the way for a brighter future. Chapter 2. Shadows of the Past, Echoing Footsteps and Whispers. In this chapter, the weight of the inmates' pasts envelops the air like a heavy fog. Through a series of haunting recollections, listeners hear snippets of voices sharing the stories that defined their journeys into the prison system. Mark reflects on a life dictated by a cycle of violence, revealing the fateful night that led to his incarceration. His voice quivers with regret as he recalls the choices he made, driven by desperation and fear. Julia, another inmate, shares her experience of growing up in a turbulent household, detailing how she became involved in crime as a means of survival. Her words carry the pain of loss, drawing listeners into the dark corners of her past. As their memories intertwine, a collective narrative emerges, highlighting the common threads of hardship, misguided choices, and the longing for forgiveness that haunt these souls. The shadows of their past loom large, yet the spark of redemption subtly begins to flicker. Chapter 3. The Brotherhood. Sounds of a classroom, papers rustling, and distant laughter. In the heart of the prison's education program, Jamal and Victor emerge not just as mentors, but as pillars of strength for younger inmates seeking purpose. With voices that resonate with experience, they recount their journeys, one a former gang leader, the other a misguided youth who lost his way. Together, they've forged an unbreakable bond through their commitment to learning and growth. Each session is a sanctuary where they share personal stories of regret intertwined with resilience, fostering a sense of brotherhood that transcends steel bars. Jamal speaks passionately about the power of knowledge to break cycles of violence, while Victor emphasizes emotional healing and self-reflection. As they guide the next generation away from the darkness of their pasts, their laughter and camaraderie echo through the classroom, reminders that even in confinement, hope and connection can thrive, illuminating paths toward redemption. Chapter 4. The Quiet Rebels. Soft strumming of a guitar, whispers of creativity, and distant echoes of laughter. In the shadows of the prison, a group of inmates gathers, finding solace in their clandestine meetings. This gathering, an oasis of expression, serves as a rebellion against the stark confines of their environment. Among them, we hear the soft voice of Leon, recounting how art became his refuge, a way to channel pain into creation. The flicker of a hidden candle illuminates their makeshift studio, as sketches emerge on tattered paper and lyrics flow like lifelines. Poetic snippets punctuate the air, revealing raw emotions, loss, dreams, and the longing for freedom. As the strumming of the guitar fills the space, it underscores their shared vulnerability. In this creative sanctuary, they find not only a voice, but also a sense of community, proving that in their darkest hours, hope and resilience can flourish amidst despair. They are the quiet rebels, crafting art where silence once reigned. Chapter 5. The Quiet Rebels. Soft strumming of a guitar and whispers of creativity. In the dim corners of the maximum security prison, a group of inmates gathers under the cover of night. They call themselves the Quiet Rebels. Here they find solace in sharing their passion for art and music, creating a sacred space away from the oppressive atmosphere that defines their daily lives. Through the strumming of guitars and the whisper of brushes on canvas, they express the pain, longing, and dreams that often go unheard. Amidst their clandestine meetings, we hear snippets of their poetic verses and raw melodies, crafted as a form of therapy and rebellion. As Victor shares a haunting song about lost freedom, Maria recites a poem that captures the struggle of motherhood behind bars. Their creativity becomes a lifeline, allowing them to reclaim their identities and visions of a future filled with hope. In their art, the echoes of despair transform into powerful statements of resilience and defiance. Chapter 6. Grounded in Education. The gentle rustling of pages turning, punctuated by the scratch of pens on paper, fills the air. In this chapter, the importance of education as a lifeline for inmates comes to the forefront. We hear the voices of various inmates, each sharing their experiences in the prison's educational programs. Jamal speaks about the first time he picked up a book, a moment that ignited his thirst for knowledge and opened doors to new possibilities. Maria reflects on how education empowers her to be a better mother, ensuring her children won't repeat her mistakes. The chapter highlights the struggles and triumphs of learning behind bars, showcasing the determination of inmates to acquire skills that will facilitate their reintegration into society. "It's never too late to learn," one inmate states, resonating with the collective aspiration for a brighter future. As the sound of laughter and lively discussion fills the atmosphere, hope emerges as a vital force for change. Chapter 7. Reflections of Hope. Inspiring music interlaced with inmate speeches. In a well-worn classroom adorned with faded posters, inmates gather to rehearse for an upcoming showcase called The Dreamers. The air is thick with anticipation as their voices rise, each story a testament to resilience and the power of vulnerability. One inmate, Daniel, steps forward, his voice trembling with emotion. "I once saw hope as a distant whisper, but now I realize it's my greatest strength," he shares, his words stirring the hearts of those listening. We hear snippets of other inmates' speeches, stories of loss, redemption, and dreams deferred. Amid laughter and tears, they bond over shared struggles, transforming their pain into powerful narratives. The chapter closes with a poignant reminder. Their journeys aren't just stories of incarceration, they are stories of rebirth. As the final notes of the uplifting music fade, listeners are left with a profound sense of possibility and the unwavering hope for a brighter future beyond bars. Sounds of traffic, laughter, and birds chirping seep through the prison's stark walls, creating a stark contrast to the inmates' confined reality. In this chapter, we hear the voices of family members and loved ones of inmates, echoing their longing and love against a backdrop of frustration and heartache. Maria's mother shares her struggle to maintain a relationship with her daughter while advocating for her grandchildren's future. Listening to Carlos's wife speak of her determination to support him despite the distance highlights the emotional burden families carry. Each testimony reveals the ripple effects of incarceration: dinners missed, birthdays forgotten, and the relentless hope that letters and phone calls can't quite bridge. As these voices intertwine, they paint a poignant picture of resilience and connection, emphasizing that even behind bars, familial love endures. This chapter serves as a reminder of life beyond the prison walls and the bonds that it both strains and strengthens. Chapter 9. Confronting the Past. Tension-filled silence, punctuated by soft rustling and the periodic clearing of throats. A somber piano melody underscores the introspective mood. In a dimly lit room, inmates gather for a group therapy session, a safe space to unearth buried regrets. The atmosphere is thick with anticipation as they brace themselves to confront their past mistakes. One by one, they share stories laden with pain, broken families, lost opportunities, and the moments that forever altered their paths. David, a former gang leader, speaks first, recalling the day he lost his best friend to violence. His voice trembles as he expresses remorse, not for himself but for the lives he impacted. The room absorbs each confession, an unspoken bond forming among them. Tears flow freely, and the cathartic release is palpable. As they confront their demons, the echoes of their pasts transform into stepping stones for healing, a pivotal moment in their journey toward redemption. Chapter 10. The Weight of Waiting. The ticking of a clock merges with muffled conversations echoing off cold steel walls, creating a heavy atmosphere of anticipation. Within the stark confines of maximum security, time stretches interminably for inmates waiting for parole. In this chapter, we hear from several inmates who share their poignant experiences as they navigate the emotional toll of uncertainty. Chris, a former gang member, reflects on the long nights spent wrestling with regret and longing for a second chance. Sarah speaks of the day she received her parole hearing date, a mix of hope and anxiety flooding her thoughts. The hours feel like days as they confront the weight of their pasts and the unknown future. Their stories resonate with a shared sense of longing, revealing the humbling reality of waiting, a painful reminder that redemption often hinges on the will of others. This chapter encapsulates the fragility of hope amid the oppressive routine of prison life as they dream of freedom. Chapter 11. The Ripple of Change. Upbeat music transitioning to somber tones. In this chapter, the conversation shifts to the profound impact of rehabilitation on inmates and their communities. Jamal and Victor, now mentors themselves, gather with a group of younger inmates to discuss how their journeys toward transformation are influencing others. They share stories of their families and friends, highlighting how their commitment to change inspires hope beyond prison walls. Carlos, in a reflective voice note, recalls a moment when he saw a fellow inmate eagerly engage in a literacy program, reigniting his passion for education. The narrative underscores the elasticity of redemption. As one individual transforms, the ripples extend outward, affecting families and communities. Listeners hear a blend of laughter, encouragement, and heartfelt conversations, enveloping them in a collective spirit of growth and solidarity. This chapter illuminates the potential for lasting change, emphasizing that the path to redemption is not traveled alone. Chapter 12. Behind the Bars Womenscape. Quiet sighs and soft voices. The faint sound of rustling fabric fills the air as inmates gather for their weekly support circle. In this chapter, we delve into the experiences of female inmates, exploring their unique struggles and resilience. We meet Aisha, who reflects on her childhood and the choices that led her to incarceration. Her diary reveals the shadows of trauma and loss, but also her unwavering spirit. Alongside her, we hear from Lena, a mother navigating the duality of motherhood and prison life. She shares the heart-wrenching decision to leave her children behind, coupling her pain with determination to create a better future for them. Through their stories, we witness the strength of community among women behind bars. In their shared laughter and tears, there lies a profound bond, a sisterhood that serves as a beacon of hope, resilience, and solidarity in the often harsh and unforgiving prison environment. Chapter 13. Redemption's Cost. Heartbeat sound and reflective music. As the inmates gather in the dimly lit common room, a palpable tension fills the air. This chapter dives deep into the emotional and psychological costs of seeking redemption. Voices echo with vulnerability as inmates share their stories of setbacks and perseverance, revealing the toll that the journey toward change can exact. Carlos speaks of sleepless nights filled with self-doubt, haunted by memories of his past. Maria reflects on the pain of missing crucial moments in her children's lives, a burden she carries like a heavy stone. Jamal, stifling tears, recounts a close friend's relapse that shattered their dreams. While the quest for redemption offers glimmers of hope, the inmates also confront the harsh reality of their choices. Through these candid revelations, listeners are reminded that while the path to change is fraught with sacrifice, it is also an essential part of reclaiming one's humanity. The heartbeat sound underscores their shared resilience, a testament to their unyielding spirit.